What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I thought I'd jump in with a quick video breaking down a bunch of vendor updates for Season of the Deep. And so there are some pretty useful ones to know about. They do include new weapons that Banshee can sell, but also updates to Hawthorne, and those will assist with Last Wish crafting. On top of that, Xur has a couple of new weapons in his inventory too. Plus there are some new quests in the game that reward exotics, as well as updated weapons for the season, the Cryptarch's new focusing options, PvP updates, and even a new exotic key that Shorhan in the Cosmodrome has available. So we'll jump in and break it down in the video, a bit of a mixed bag of changes, but as always I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, be sure to get subscribed so I can keep you posted with more Destiny content, and otherwise let's get into it. Firstly right here, a quick update to Shorhan in the Cosmodrome, and he now has an exotic key, which is the key to Maeve's stash, and this opens the chest that she left inside Shorhan's camp. This does appear to be focused towards new players, but you can pick it up for no cost, and then immediately behind where Shorhan is standing, in the building right here, there's a chest that we can open, and it rewarded the tractor cannon for me. I haven't seen anybody speak about this, so I'm not certain as to whether it can reward other exotics. Although another rank 1 player did turn up and open the chest, and they also got tractor cannon right here, so I'm guessing it's simply a tractor cannon drop. It does drop at base level, so not necessarily going to be super useful for the majority of players who are already established in the game, but something worth mentioning nonetheless. Up next though, Banshee has had a bit of an update, and he can now sell a few additional weapons. On top of that, looking at his inventory right here, it looks like he is going to start selling some of the stuff that he wasn't selling last season from his pool of weapons, but there are some new world drops that you can get from his engrams or from his inventory, and they include a new strand auto rifle called the Old Sterling. It's an adaptive frame auto, and for traits, it's able to get rewind rounds, as well as perfect float, hipfire grip, discord, where final blows with another weapon grant this weapon increased speed for aiming down sights, accuracy, and airborne effectiveness for a short time, and when discord is active, final blows refund ammo. Plus it's able to get surplus and slideways in the first slot, but the second slot can get harmony, as well as frenzy, hatchling, demolitionist, focused fury, and adagio. So actually a couple of decent rolls right there for this auto rifle. And on top of that, he also has a new hand cannon, which is an arc aggressive frame hand cannon called Combined Action. And in the first trait slot, it can roll hipfire grip, Zen moment, and Eddy Current, which temporarily increases reload speed after sprinting, and the effect is improved when you're amplified. Then there's no distractions, tunnel vision, and perfect float in the first slot, but the second slot can get Volt Shot, as well as timed payload, offhand strike, kill clip, air assault, or adagio. So Eddy Current and Volt Shot could be a pretty interesting roll on this thing. Plus he has a new sniper rifle called Last Foray, and this is a solar aggressive frame sniper. In the first trait slot, it's able to roll Discord, Elemental Capacitor, Perfect Float, Lead from Gold, Envious Assassin, or Field Prep, with the second slot able to get Incandescent, Rangefinder, Box Breathing, Cascade Point, Focused Fury, or Frenzy. I should mention all of these weapons do get the field-tested origin trait, and defeating targets or dealing damage with a weapon gradually increases range, stability, handling, and reload speed. And the final new weapon for Banshee right here is his Strand Precision Frame Scout Rifle, and this is called Glissando 47, where in the first trait slot we have Discord, Reconstruction, No Distractions, Keep Away, Perfect Float or Overflow, and the second trait slot can roll Hatchling, Harmony, Box Breathing, Cascade Point, One for All, or Opening Shot. So actually some relatively decent weapons right there from Banshee. And again, it looks like his weekly inventory of potential weapon sales may be a bit more interesting moving forward. We won't go into all of the bonuses right here, but it does look like Xur's had a little bit of an update as well, and we can see in his inventory, on top of the stuff he was already selling last season, Bungie have added the Reckoning weapons that have been reprised this season, so that includes Spare Rations, Bug Out Bag, Outlast, Sole Survivor, Last Man Standing, and Just In Case. So on top of seasonal activity drops, Xur does have the potential to feature those reprised Reckoning weapons as well. And then moving over to Hawthorne, she got an interesting update, and Last Wish weapons can now be crafted, and every week Hawthorne will have a quest that refreshes, with a pursuit to complete all encounters of the Last Wish raid, and completion of this will award a guaranteed Last Wish pattern progress until all patterns are acquired. So it basically allows us to purchase a red border weapon from Hawthorne, and Bungie have said in addition, completion of the pursuit will unlock a vendor exchange on Hawthorne for that week, where players can spend spoils of conquest, and we can select that deep sight weapon. So if you're working on being able to craft the Last Wish weapons, actually that's a pretty useful update. Additionally, Ikora Ray has some new exotic quests, and there's a solar, Void, and Arc quest, they're all separate ones. They've got a bunch of steps to them, but for completing the Solar quest, depending on your class, you'll be rewarded with Synthoceps, Younger Hamkara's Spine, or Starfire Protocol. Then in the database, it also lists Cry Mutiny as a potential drop. That's from back in Season of Plunder. The Void quest can drop the Heart of Inmost Light for Titans, Graviton Forfeit for Hunters, and Controverse Hold for Warlocks. But it also lists Positive Outlook, which is a reprised weapon for this season, as a potential reward in that quest as well. Then finally, for the Arc quest that she has, Dune Marchers, as well as Sixth Coyote and Crown of Tempests are exotic drops, with the new hand cannon combined action that we just mentioned also apparently a potential reward from that quest. Obviously very good for free-to-play players, but potentially interesting given those weapon drops for Season Pass owners as well. Otherwise, Lord Shaxx has additionally had an update, and Bungie have said he has a special treat for any Guardians who've completed their competitive division placement matches and are Silver 3 or above. And there is the new sniper rifle for competitive, the Mercurial Overreach, which is an adaptive frame arc sniper, comes with random rolls so the first trade slot can get Snapshot, Perfect Float, Firmly Planted, Slick Draw, Surplus, or Discord, with the second trade slot able to get Elemental Capacitor, Opening Shot, Mulligan, No Distractions, Moving Target, or Vorpal Weapon. And additionally, Bungie have said the Season 20 Ascendant emblem is no longer available to purchase, and has been replaced with the new Season 21 Ascendant emblem. So that does it for Shaxx, but very finally, of course, we now have exotic focusing options at Raoul. So for standard decryption, any exotic engram can be decrypted into a random previously owned armor piece for free. Then there's advanced decryption, and exotic engrams can be focused into any armor from a specific expansion for a small cost that's inside of the focusing screen, and you must have previously acquired all armor for the class from an expansion to use the option. Then there's precision decryption, and an exotic engram can be focused into a specific piece of armor you have previously acquired, but that comes with a higher cost. Speaking of exotic armor drops, Bungie did update the Vex Incursion event, and they made it to where there's a knockout system for Lightfall exotics. And we've done a handful of those today, and so far we haven't seen any of the new Season of the Deep exotics drop from it, so either they are a rare drop that you could potentially get in the Vex Strike Force, or for this release, they're straight back to Lost Sectors as the only source to acquire them. So just an additional mention right there for those. On top of that though, the Cryptarch does have some new material exchange options. And otherwise, that does it for the vendor kind of updates for the season, with the exception of the Eververse store, which is a very large inventory, and we'll cover that in a separate video. But for today, I thought those might be some useful heads up, or kind of interesting at least, to see some of the new things that can be sold. And so if you've enjoyed the video, a rating below really does help us out. Also, let us know any weapons or rewards that you're excited to pick up from vendors. And for now, that wraps up the video, so be sure to get subscribed if you want to see more Destiny content, guys. But otherwise, for today, I appreciate you tuning in, and I will catch you all very soon.